Give her back her phone. He comes and he's like, can I get your name? I said, no. You don't need my name, you government worker? No. And they start going on rambling. Then he goes in the building, comes back out, and he says, and this is the biggest bitch of them all. I said, you know what, dude? You need to go get laid or something, you little asshole. And I went off on him.
Okay.
So I did say something to him. I don't remember exactly what I said, but yeah, I went off on him for calling me the biggest bitch of them all.
What's your first name?
Angela.
I mean, that obviously people.
I was.
Welcome Trespass, but the reason he was called is that he was harassing people walking into HFIT. We put up with it here because we have to.
Okay.
From there.
Greg. Did you call? Greg, he was talking to him. Wasn't that him?
Yeah, I don't know who called the police though.
It said Greg, GM.
Oh, it did? Okay, then it was him. Right. But he was also talking to the guy outside too. But I took a video of him talking, like, making a scene at the front desk.
You just gave him the attention that he wants. Like, well, see, the thing is, if you do ignore him, though, on the other side of it, he does tend to come back because you ignore him and don't respond to him, he comes back for more. So there is no really good way to respond to him.
She said that he was
And then he just traps you guys in these dumb circle conversations
harassing
too.
them over there at HFIS. She videotaped it.
He's not about to get in my car, is he?
No, he keeps videoing inside it because you left your computer open.
I do it every time.
Do you leave your cars running or something?
Yeah. And locked.
Yeah.
Down. I think it's probably right.
He's peeking.
Where's he at down there?
Yeah, he'll be on that side.
Do you want me to come with you?
Do you want to?
There he goes.
Watch
See,
this
he
video
comes
and
up
see
to
if
the
he-
window and looks into it.
I want to rewatch this and see it because I feel like he was like.
Here he comes. He's going to start talking through the window now. This is one of his things.
Yeah. I have a body cam. Yeah.
Do you want to see her video what he did over there?
Sure. Before I go.
You can't see him because I was trying to do this great, but you can hear him.
What kind of supervisor, like?
There's a cleaning lady cleaning the doors down here.
Yeah.
I want to file a complaint against her, and then also I want to get some information about cleaning off the message that I just put on the sidewalk that I'm about to put on the sidewalk again.
Gotcha. What's the message about?
I think it said, like this facility, question mark, like a tax vehicle. Does that make sense?
I don't know if we can allow people to write stuff on our property.
I don't think that they can stop me. You worked out, you got the bigger arms and stuff. Are you thinking you can stop me physically or through intelligence?
No, not at all. No, I just don't think we can. That's technically what
You're not saying you can stop me, you're just saying you won't allow me.
correct.
So I'll do it without your allowance.
And that technically sort of what it works.
I know. I can't think of what you
What do you call it when you write stuff for? Close to that. Vandalism, yes.
Do you own that property out there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, our company does, yeah.
Your company owns that? The Ohio Township doesn't own that and you manage it?
I think the Ohio Township owns it. So, you have to talk to that.
Police at one point. From there, there's, I don't think it wasn't that informative, but you can see what he did.
David 11 and check up.
11, we're fine. I'm gonna go holler down there at them. I'll be back. Huh?
Yeah. Looking 14.
I'll be back.
Go upstairs.
Final report. Missing child's return home. Hailing police.
They like medium 2-6.
2-6,
allowed to have a right to self-defense. Is that right, sir?
What's that?
If they tried to remove me by force from this location, I'd have self-defense rights?
As long as there's not anything criminally that prohibits you from being here, yes, you have every right to defend yourself.
And as far as you know, there is no criminality of myself here?
As of right now, that's all I got.
Still looking into it?
Yep. Hi. Where did he go that way?
Yeah, and Greg's walking back this way.
Yeah, I think they're.
You need to write down the steps. Or your other office.
All right. Thanks. No.
I haven't either.
You guys haven't seen it? That's pretty cool.
There it is.
How's it going? What's happening? Another day in paradise.
So you are being recorded.
Cool.
What happened with him, or what made you call 911?
So he came in here and was cursing at our employees. Allegedly, I was not in, didn't witness it myself. Asked him what he was doing. He said he was just recording. It says public right. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have to participate. I don't want to be on camera. So he started asking me questions about whether or not he's allowed to publicly write on the sidewalks. And I was like, I don't know. That would be something I'd have to ask the legal team. I was like, I'm not an expert in that. And then he was yelling, I'm a tax victim to every person that comes into our private institution. So this is the second call because he's also recording township employees in their offices up on their windows.
But he's allowed anywhere out there on the sidewalk. He can record as much as he wants to, or not. One of the on camera, you have no expectation of privacy when you're out in public.
Yeah, well, I also don't want to talk to him either.
So you don't have to, obviously. That's your choice if you want to talk to him or not. If you don't want him in here and through the doors, we can let him know that he's not welcome in through the doors. Since the athletic club is a private entity, then you have to be a member, which he knows. So I'll let him know that. As far as right on the sidewalk, again, he knows he can do that. That's why he's doing it. He's done his research. So he knows that he's allowed to do that. He's testing us to see what we're going to do with it. And we already know that he's allowed to do it because there's case law through the Supreme Court in the United States of America that says he's allowed to do it. So he's just testing us. As far as talking to customers coming and going, again, you have no expectation of privacy. It's no different than a solicitor being out in the building. If he's rude or using foul language or making people feel uncomfortable, we can address that. But we need somebody to stick around and say, hey, he said this to me.
So is that a public parking lot? That's not our parking lot? Private?
As far as I know, the township owns it. So since the township owns that lot, it's private / public has access to it. It's not like your own house or your private business that you would want him on your private land. When the township owns it, kind of puts a little gray area in there where the public is the right of way. No different than like the driveway to like the parking lot or being allowed to come in and out of there. So we can't really ban him from anywhere that's
No, that's fine.
so you could probably talk to whoever your guys' legal team is here through, since it's your. I don't even know how it all works. Don't like the building.
This place is a cluster. I'm at because I'm at like the parking lot. I would like my boss said my parking lot at public. I guess it's just really through those doors is like your guys' is like safe haven where if he can't
come in.
Anywhere out there, I would try to let him do what he wants to do as long as he's not criminally defacing anything or damaging anything like the building or anything like that. Chalk is easily if it was actual paint, it'd be a different story. But given that it's just chalk, I hate to say it, but you're just going to have to deal with it unless he does cross that threshold where that's either trespassing in or, assault somebody, anything like that. Anything come down to menacing, where if he says like I'm something as simple as like, I'll, quote unquote, I'll kill you or I'll hurt you this way or that, and you or somebody else feels that he would seriously cause physical harm to you, that's a different way you can look at it. But
yeah, no, I understand that. I just, the other thing too is like, I always think of the safety. We have a preschool on site too with children, and like,
I get that.
People here,
He's allowed to walk around and act.
Video.
That the worst part about that though is that you have, not the worst part, but it kind of makes it gray areas because you have a government building right next to you in the administration. So that's, yeah, that's where it's gonna, and you're all connected. So it's.
You're allowed to videotape inside of a classroom in a school with children.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you have any time, just go on YouTube and click First Amendment. First Amendment audit. There's all kinds of people. He's got his own YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, you guys can clean that as much as you want. He's just gonna come back.
Yeah, we know. I got you. Yeah, I agree.
He's gonna keep playing the game.
His thing is that he feels like you're hindering his freedom of speech because he's writing something and you guys are immediately wiping it off, where he came up to our police department and put heroes work here, and why didn't they write that off because it's something positive, but I'm writing something negative here, and so is that, you know, hindering his freedom of speech, where it's like, you guys have a right to maintain and upkeep your business as you please, but
I've seen enough people on, yeah, just be aware, he's around, he'll come around. He's mad at the admin office right now, so unfortunately you're probably catching collateral for being so close to him.
We'll see if we can deter him
down that way,
where this is a gym. This has nothing to do with government. He's going to say, he's saying basically, I pay for this, and you know, I should be
he's a
tax victim. So we'll see.
You would have to talk to them because we're just a managing partner.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we know that. We know.
We
Trust
know,
me.
it's
Yeah, we're in a rock and a hard place here. Okay, so it's.
Yeah, he was just doing the same thing.
Yeah, and he stopped by the fire department and was writing stuff out there too. So it's, I know it's, yeah.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, hopefully we can get him to go back on that way. But I would clarify with your guys' legal team, and I'll double check with ours as far as who actually owns that sidewalk out there. But I'd assume it's part of the sidewalk.
Sorry, so I have a question because like I'm familiar with this place, but at the same time, it's like, so you guys are your private. You're not employed by Delhi. You're your privately owned for the gym, right? But is this kind of like you rent or lease this place, or even though they own it? Like, how's that work?
We're just a managing partner, so it'd be like
Delhi owns
Well, I didn't know if they own it and they rent it.
A third party to come in and run it.
Okay.
It's the same as the apartment.
So okay, you would have to answer to the okay.
Yeah, it's like the Viridian has their management company that runs it.
I just didn't know if it was kind of like.
It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
Overall owns everything.
It's kind of like when, say someone builds a McDonald's but then has like a franchise person running. But
yeah,
like,
it's
corporate owns the building.
It's definitely one of those. But yeah, he's not going to do anything violent or anything. All the times we dealt with him, he's never been violent or anything like that. He just tries to rise up people.
He actually tries to make you violent towards him. That's his goal. So keep your cool.
Yeah, if you just ignore him, he'll do his thing, and hopefully tomorrow's a new day.
We'll go talk to him. We'll see if we'll determine.
All the questions he's asking, he's like, "Well, you're denying a public request." I'm like, "I don't work for the government." So.
Yeah. No. Well, then.
I pulled Jimmy away. I stopped. You were on your way in. I'm like,
just. Yeah.
I want to get clarification because,
So, sorry, real quick. You have to be a member to enter through those doors or past the desk, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, it's still technically public from the desk out, right? Because if you're not a member.
I always joke around as vampire rules. Like, we invite people, we'll invite someone in for a tour if they're not a member. But if you're not a member and you're causing a ruckus, you don't have access to this building.
Okay. All right. Well, I also want to get it on camera for if there is any audit, we're.
If you guys want to take the windows and put the blinds and shit up?
You're allowed to do that. If you guys want to put those blinds down and then throw some,
Yeah.
put your blinds down and throw some film up. All right.
Find anything to get me on?
No. Okay.
Just making them, they just had questions as far as what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do. We just informed them that you weren't doing anything illegal. They just asked that you don't come into the gym anymore since it's a private membership.
I'm being trespassed?
They just asked you not to step into there.
Is it a trespass or is it
I
not?
told them they
so I
can
can
mail
go,
you a
I can,
letter
go, I
if
can
you
go
want.
in there?
I'd rather you not.
But I can?
If they request
No,
you to
you're
be
not
trespassed.
answering questions. Come on, man. I'm asking you a straightforward question. Anybody that watches this that has a 7th grade education or higher is going to know my straightforward question is, can I legally go into this building right now?
You can go to the front desk, but you need to have a membership to go past that desk. So if you go past that desk, that's technically trespassing because you have to have a legal membership to be a member of this gym. Now, it's so weird with this building where this is a private, or not private, sorry. This has its own managing court. This is just a gym aspect. Down there is different because that's a government building. But
you concur with that? Okay, that's all I need. Thank you. You did professional. Not bad guy. Just you didn't give me an answer like I was looking for. Can you tell me this chalk here? I'm not. This is kind of art as well as voicing a grievance to government as well as community. It's a bunch of different things, but one thing it is a work in progress. You believe me, right? I'm still working on this.
Sure.
I mean, maybe you think I'm lying or something, but I'm telling you, I'm still working on this. Now, I'm working on this. Would you say that this chalk right here is my property?
I have no idea.
Okay, I can
I'd have to refer to an attorney for that.
That's a tough one there.
Well, let me show you. Let me show you. I'm telling you, and I'm willing to write a sworn affidavit that I'm not done with this.
Okay.
I'm still working on this. I got a bunch of things I want to say, and there's a lot of landscaping here to work with. And this is my property. In fact, see how this Y was written? I might not like that, and I might want to clean that up a little bit. Maybe I might have to get some more tools and clean this part of the Y up and make it more of a green Y so it blends in, see? So this property, there's things I want to still do with this chalk that I haven't finished with yet. And the problem is I'm not abandoning it. And I came out and I told them on, my camera didn't overheat, on recording that I did not abandon that before, why they were just starting to clean it. I did not abandon it. It is my property and you're now damaging my property. And they just ignored me. I said it a few times, so unless they're 100% deaf, they heard me. I'd like to file a complaint for them doing what they did to my property.
We'll document it for you.
I'm sorry?
I said I can document that for you.
Okay. So there's 2 individuals out here that have done that.
Okay. We can go in and ask.
And I would like both their names, and I'd like to.
Were they guys or girls or?
Both were girls. One of them was. Now, when you went in there, I think you've been professional overall, but it was a little disturbing to me when you went in there, and I asked something like,
Hey, Robert 23.
you said something along the lines of, you haven't found any criminal activity I'm doing, right? You said, yeah. I said, are you still looking there? And you said, yeah. You were here on my call, as I understand it. You guys got a call from them. Tell me if I'm wrong at any point here. You got a call from them. They described some activity to you. You made a determination that activity was legal and determined not to respond to the call in person, right?
I didn't say I was still looking for a criminal activity on you.
So let me come back to that later, because if my camera didn't overheat, it's going to be on recording, so I don't want to debate it. But would you agree that you got a call from them complaining against me? They described my actions. Y'all determined that there wasn't a criminal activity and decided to not even respond up here. Is that correct? In person?
We're here right now.
Because I called. I'm not to that point in the
No, we got both of you guys' call. We
you
were
got
coming.
their call, and I waited for about, I'm going to say roughly 10 minutes. You guys didn't show. And then I called, and y'all were here like in 5 minutes.
You called?
Yeah, I called.
Who did you call?
I called Cass.
Oh, yeah, so basically her dispatch in the county, because she even said during it that I guess it's coming over high band now, which is this radio. You called and they called at the exact same time.
No, they called before.
Well, we got dispatch.
Well, we got dispatch at the same time.
Okay.
They could have held the run for a few minutes at the county.
The county does that. Sometimes they're like, this is a 10-minute-old run.
So when it's county, is that CAD? If I want to go to the county and say I wanted the recorded line for the person that called in filing a complaint,
yes,
that's that county, and all I need is a CAD number?
I don't know how they pull it up. If you just did this address, they should be able to find
You'll
it.
be able to give me
whatever.
the CAD number before you leave, though.
I don't know how we're going to be able to find a CAD number.
It's on
So
your screen. If you left your screen open, which I think is a bad business activity, but whatever.
okay.
The CAD number, I thought I saw it on the screen, but
I mean,
it's
we
hard to
can
read.
try. We never really use CAD numbers,
Yeah.
but we can give it to you if you'd like.
So when you came up, I caught you before you went in the building and asked you to investigate some things. I thought you were investigating my things, but you came out here and you started talking about the things that they wanted investigated. I haven't heard not one thing other than what I asked about the complaint I made about what you're supposed to be investigating. Did you investigate a public disturbance?
Because I went in there and I wanted to hear their side of the story because I got your initial side of the story. So I like to get all parties involved. So
Did you investigate it?
I went in there and talked, and they said that you were harassing some people that were going into the athletic club. So then we came down here and talked to the management
Body
staff.
camera still on?
Yeah, still recording.
Okay, thank you.
And when we went in and we talked to the management to see what they had to say, because it sounded like it was more of a concern down here than it was down there, because the GM of this athletic club is the one that called us. So I was misconstrued, and I went in there thinking that they called, and it was actually the GM down here, because it's all one building. Does that make sense? So that's when...
Did you investigate a public disturbance?
We went in and talked to the GM.
I asked him
I'm sorry, I'm looking for a yes, no, or a maybe with more context. Did you investigate a public disturbance that I reported to you when you pulled up? I thought at some point I said a public
So we
disturbance.
went in there, spoke to them. We just came out to speak to you to get what your public disturbance was.
Okay.
So I asked him what happened. He said there's an altercation with you and the female at the front desk. He asked you to leave. So now I'm coming out here to ask you what your side, whatever took place in there.
Okay. Is that asked to leave? Meaning I can't go back there?
Not inside the building past the front desk where you need
Okay,
to
I
get
can
in.
still get to the front desk even though he asked me to leave. Okay. Well, this is the woman, by the way. This is the one that I'm alleging crimes against. Do you have her name?
I don't yet, because we need.
Neither of you have her name?
You want to go speak to her?
Somebody get her name, please, because, I mean...
Ma'am.
If you all find crimes and you don't even get the...
Angela Samples.
Let me just talk to you real quick, okay? Because we're getting his side of the story, the gym members, the GM's
First
side.
of all, I come out here. The lady over there asked me to take a picture. I'm trying to get out the sun.
Sorry.
The lady over there asked me to take a picture of the writing on the sidewalk. I did. So then I was cleaning the glass doors, and I give her back her phone. And he comes and he's like, "Can I get your name?" I said, "No. You don't need my name. You government worker? No." And they start going on rambling. And then he goes in the building, comes back out, and he says, "And this is the biggest bitch of them all." I said, "You know what, dude? You need to go get laid or something, you little asshole." And I went off on him.
Okay.
So I did say something to him. I don't remember exactly what I said, but yeah, I went off on him for calling me the biggest bitch of them all.
What's your first name?
Angela Samples, SAMPLES.
What's your date of birth, Angela?
7978
What's a good phone number for you?
513. Hold on, because this is a new phone. I gotta.
That's all right. You didn't say anything threatening to him, like I'm
No.
gonna harm you or anything,
No.
did you?
513-709-6631.
Okay.
No, I didn't threaten him in any way. I
Okay.
just told him he needed to get laid.
Okay.
That's about the most threatening thing I said to him, but
All right.
no, I didn't threaten him in no way.
All right. Now, who are you employed by?
Don't hide, the fitness center.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was just
I'm not a
kind of
government worker either.
Okay, but you're still employed by
Yes.
Dell. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
You walk right past her, and I won't get around.
Okay.
Not only public disturbance, she was also involved in the destruction of my public property, of my private property.
Okay.
I came over, I specifically on recording let them know it's not being abandoned. I said, that's my property, I'm not done with it, it's in progress. And they laughed at me, and one of them laughed at me, they laughed at me. I'm a private citizen who pays public money, in my opinion, under threat of violence, not to be treated like that from either public or people that public hire. So
She just said that you called her the biggest bitch of them all, quote unquote.
okay.
No, I'm just saying that's the only thing that you wanted me to go speak to her. So
No, I want you to speak to her about this and about. Can you get her before she leaves? Because
I have her name. I already have her name and date of birth.
And you can contact her.
I have her phone number.
Okay. What'd she say about the public disturbance that I claim she made?
She just said that I guess when you came out or she came out to clean, you said, I guess you guys kind of exchanged words, and then you claimed that she was, again, quote unquote, the biggest bitch of them all, and she quote unquote said you need to go get laid or some sort, and that was kind of it. And then she started removing the chalk from the sidewalk.
You didn't ask her if she cussed me out, if she threatened me? Did you ask her this type of
I
questions?
asked her if she threatened you, because she can cuss you out, but I asked if she threatened you, and she said she did not.
Okay.
Because that is
Did
where...
you ask her about the chalk?
To be honest, I did not, because this is kind of a gray area with the chalk, man.
Where are you at in your investigation now then?
To be honest, I'm still kind of dumbfounded, because like we got to talk to a lawyer or a prosecutor on, you know, where it lies on a sidewalk of a township building when it comes to chalk. Because to be completely honest, I don't want to go full go on something that I'm not completely 100% knowledgeable on. Does that make sense? I don't want to misconstrue anything. I don't want to falsely do my job. I like to be 100% knowledgeable on how I need to perform on a certain act as it's provided. So,
would you agree this is a public sidewalk?
This is a public sidewalk.
It's publicly accessible to the public?
Correct.
Okay.
So my only question to you is where I'm kind of standing at is, if you have every right as a public individual to write that, isn't there every right for somebody to want to come clean it up as well?
If they haven't, if I've abandoned the property, I think there would be.
Okay, so
what
it's the
I'm
whole
saying
point
is that, in other words, if I'm here writing this,
okay,
and as I'm writing it, they're coming in and deleting the letters along the way.
Again, to be honest,
I haven't abandoned that property. Like right now, this guy came up and took this chalk, and I said, "Hey, that's my chalk. I haven't abandoned it."
Right? No, What's
the difference between this chalk and this chalk?
To be honest, again, chalk's very difficult. Yeah, I mean, again,
I'm not asking you what's the difference of difficulty between these chalks. I'm asking you what's the difference between these chalks.
I got to think about that, because it's the same as what if I'm not trying to be a devil's advocate. I'm just trying to pick your brain so I can possibly be more knowledgeable. So what if I wrote a check and gave it to the bank? Even though that's the ink from my pen, I still voluntarily wrote the ink on the check.
So here's how I'm not a lawyer either, but here's how I interpret it. That ink was your ink. You wrote it on a check and gave it to the bank. Now that's the bank's ink. So now if I go in there and take that check before they've been able to process it and finish it, and I smear out while it's sitting on their counter, or sitting across the counter where I'm allowed to be, and I smear it out and ruin the check, that sounds criminal to me.
Okay.
Now, if I go, and here, just take the law out of it for just a second.
I'm listening, Rich.
I'm trying to do government accountability and communicate a message to people that come into this facility, in essence, that, hey, you shouldn't be thanking Delhi administration. At some point, I think you all put a monument up here to honor yourselves like you do everywhere else.
I didn't.
Delhi does. You get a committee together, and when I say you, I mean Delhi in general. You all get a committee together, and then you build a monument. You put your own names on that monument with someone else's name. It's up at Delhi Fire Department up here, Fire Department over there. Those monuments up at your PD department. Can you tell me, I can name like 5 monuments off the top of my head that Delhi have honored their own employees with? I can't think of one monument that's dedicated to the civilian, to the private. Now, here's what I'm doing. Thank a tax victim if you use this facility, because the tax victims put up a lot of money and a lot of risk. It's my understanding that we're $900,000 in interest payments this year alone, more than our EMT budget, to help pay for this facility, of which some people wanted it because it's going to have stores. There aren't any stores here yet. And this facility, for someone that put up all that risk and that money and pays, I pay every time I pay. Twice a year, once a year, I pay taxes in part for this now, and what do I get? $10 off because I'm a Delhi resident. That's my benefit, $10 off. Meanwhile, folks like you get to go here for $10 a month.
To be honest, I don't know. I don't live in Delhi, so I don't use this.
So the people that decided to build this had a little bias where they actually benefited from it, if I understand correctly. So I'm just trying to communicate this message, and they who work for an entity that's being paid by government is coming out here, and my messages are being deleted. And I come over and I say, I'm not done with it, please don't delete it. And they delete it anyway. This is my property right now. Okay. If I wanted to, I could get a brush. I could get a brush with a dustpan, and I could say, man, this was totally wrong. I could brush up all my property. I could put it in a baggie, and I could make a new piece of chalk that was blue and orange combined.
Okay.
And I come back up here and write with that newly formed chalk I made. The fact is that I have purpose for this being here, and what they're doing is they're not doing this. What I think they're doing is they don't like the message. They're trying to stifle this message. I suspect if I wrote that something like this facility is awesome, this may not have happened, but
I'm not sure.
Allergic reaction to medication.
So one thing you haven't asked me for, no one's asked me for in this whole investigation that's kind of staring us right in the face, and I think I mentioned a couple of times, is that I have audio-video recording other than where my camera overheated, and not once in your whole investigation have you asked to review the body cam or the video of what actually happened. She made some claims, I made some claims. Who knows what actually happened? Well, either in my high technical ability, I edited the video as it's being recorded, or since he got here or something, or the video is telling the truth. And she either did those things or she didn't. I did them or I didn't.
Okay.
And when the video is showing, I mean, I would think if you're looking for evidence, you talk to the people, which you didn't do until I pointed her out and said, go get her before she leaves. And that you would look throughout the audio video recording of what actually happened, but you haven't asked for it. Could I ask why you haven't asked to look at the audio video recording of what actually happened?
Because to be completely honest, I didn't know that could play back videos. I thought that was just like a GoPro where you had to download it onto a computer software and then you can view it later.
If that's the case, then I think you'd say, hey, you got the audio video recording, can you send it to us?
I didn't know we were done.
Yeah, I didn't know either. You want the video recording?
It's like I send you a link for you to send it in to us.
I'll think about it. Are you going to get back to me on this?
Am I?
What? Yes. I guess am I working with you? Is he the lead officer on this call? Is he doing the paperwork?
Who?
Who's doing the paperwork?
Both of us.
Okay. If I need to ask questions, who's better to call in going forward?
As far as
who's going to get back to me on the lawyer? Y'all are
lawyer?
if I'm understanding correctly, you're going to contact the lawyer, see if that's criminal?
yeah, I'll push it through and I'll have our chief reach out to the township attorney about that.
The township attorney is who we check for criminal stuff? Not the prosecutor?
I'd get his thoughts on it since it's somewhat semi-private property. I mean, we can talk to the prosecutor.
Could I request you talk with the prosecutor? I don't trust our township lawyer. I think he's dirty. I'd show you the evidence to support that.
Yeah, I'll forward it on to Lieutenant Macaluso and then they'll decide what they want to do with it.
Are you aware that there was a township employee that claimed that the trustees were a part of giving preferential treatment for institutions?
I'm not familiar with any of that, to be honest with you.
Are you interested in getting familiar?
No.
No, you don't care if there's corruption in the township that you work for?
No.
No, you don't care?
Not reference that.
Huh?
Not reference that. I'm not here for that today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it possible that's criminal?
What?
If the township trustees are using...
We're not going to go down this road today.
I'm asking you a question about a criminal...
We're going in so many different directions, and I got so much to try to figure out right now.
Call the police department to get another police dispatch here so I can ask about the criminality.
Can I finish doing what we're doing here first?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll be with you in just a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I come across a little negative. I kind of have an open wound from what happened before you came here, so I am sincerely apologizing if I come across the wrong way.
Okay.
What do you say?
He's apologizing if how he's acting, and he just has a open wound. What is this?
That's what I found out in the middle of the road.
Jesus. Okay, so this whole chalk thing, he said I could scrape that up and collect the chalk and make it into a new chalk, and then it's still mine technically. And I'm like, if I write a check to the bank, is the ink mine? He goes, well, you voluntarily gave the check. I haven't voluntarily gave him this chalk.
I don't know.
I don't know. I told him, I said,
Same as if he goes in through those doors. I would say he can't go into the doors.
I would think
they own all that business.
But the only thing is that the only thing that I would argue though is if I am not a member and I want to get a membership,
Then you're invited. They don't want his business.
so they don't want him at all. Okay, I didn't know that. I just thought that they. Okay. I did not know that. Okay, so.
No.
I saw Chief pull up and I was hoping. Hold on. Yes, sir.
Just go grab the drink.
Okay. I'm hoping he would come in.
Alright, I'm done talking to him for right now. I'm turning the body camera off.
I'm still rolling because I'm gonna walk down to the admin.
I would, like I said, I don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna call Lieutenant Magley, so
I can go talk to Chief in there.
you can if you want. I'll pull back down there.
Okay.
I'll just get Max.
Okay.
I don't know what he's doing out there. He might be in a meeting or something.
Well, I'll go stop in. If you want to call Mac, I can go stop in and tell him what we got going on.
All right.
And then he may want to address it. I don't know. I'll be down there.
917, I'm clear. Victim's been Narcan and ran into someone's house.
Hey, Henry, I'm pretty close. Do they need another unit out there?
1617.
Yeah, he's kind of violent.
I'm clear.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to get a drink. I'm hot. I think our chief's in here. I'm going to go holler at our chief real quick.
8117, are you guys okay?
To be honest, I think it was shot.
Shot?
Yeah.
I'd say that's your edit.
Yeah.
392, what do they have?
They have a Narcan at 100594 road. He was Narcan, ran away into a residence. He was pretty violent.
Okay.
Hi, bud. Yeah, I'm headed that way also.
I'm going to turn off as a private conversation.